Hey, what's going on, world? It is Kane here, bringing you our first ever episode of a segment I'm going to call The Drive. And it's called that because, well, we're driving. I'm super creative in that. And basically what it is just a little bit of time for us to sit back and kind of have a little bit of a powwow and chat and talk about what's going on in the world. And, we're just going to talk about everything. Talk about whatever tickles our fancy today. You know what I mean? So today, for example, we're going to talk about video games actually today. Not video games, the actual game you're playing, but we're going to talk a little bit about, drop you down there, a little bit more of a flattering angle. We're going to talk about actually consoles, in fact. So, for those of you guys that don't know what's going on right now, we have a gaming conference. And in fact, a rather large gaming conference going on exactly today. Well, by exactly I mean it's happening today. It started yesterday. Let me mix my days up. It started on Tuesday, I believe June 14th, if that's what day yesterday was, and it runs till Thursday, June 16th. So something like that. Wow, I look tired as can be. I need to sleep. Anyways, so the E3 conference is going on, and basically it's a 3-day conference. It's 6 hours, 7 hours, and 5 hours in consecutive days, and it's more or less a gaming conference to talk about and do giant press releases for the world about various products that are coming out in the upcoming year. Now, that's not always true. Sometimes they do talk about product that's coming out later on. Like, for example, Microsoft did talk about a product that's not coming out until 2017, but that's okay. That's fine. We don't mind. Sometimes just to build the hype, right? But, for example, right now, I actually want to talk to you guys about one thing in particular. And actually, you know what? Before we do that, I just wanted to let you guys know, if you haven't checked out E3, I suggest you do that. E3's got a lot of good content. There's a lot of good games and whatnot that are coming out in the upcoming year that are really exciting, and you know what, it might be worth you definitely taking a second and checking it out. So for example, there's a new game coming out called Dragon Scale, I believe, or Dragon Scale, yeah, let's go with that. And basically it's kind of got a play style similar, like the combat, the action, the feel of the game. I'll be honest, it reminded me a lot of, not the feel of the game, sorry, the combat and the way the characters move around and whatnot. It reminded me very much of Dark Souls. So if any of you guys have played Dark Souls, the way the character moves, the way the camera sits, looking at the character, that kind of stuff, it's very much reminiscent of that. So third person, kind of action-ish, RPG-ish. It looks kind of cool. Combats between you and a dragon. The big thing, or you with a dragon, I should say. The big thing that apparently seems to set this apart is that you're gonna see a lot of this happening in the near future. We're going towards a lot of the multiplayer, single-player, multiplayer boss encounter type things. So again, if you go back to say like what I said earlier, Dark Souls. Well, Dark Souls, you could actually invite people, summon them, right? Use that word loosely. You could pull people into your world and they could help you fight and kill a boss. And it's very similar, but you can do multiplayer. So I think you can have up to 4 or 8 people in an encounter, helping you to slay that dreaded boss that you're having troubles with. So very cool. And there's new things like Final Fantasy's got Final Fantasy 15, I think, or 16, or 722. I've lost track at this point. You know what? We're so far into it. So that's in itself is going to be an interesting game. Whoa, lost the camera there for a second. Got to play around with where my camera's sitting. Oh well. So that in itself is going to be cool. Bethesda announced a couple new games. Ubisoft announced a couple new games. Surprisingly, I don't remember seeing any new Assassin's Creed games, which is kind of interesting, given that's kind of been their flagship enterprise for the last little while. But to be perfectly honest, I don't know if Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I don't know if Assassin's Creed Syndicate's been doing all that well. So I did see it actually on sale, and it's been out for about a year now, I think, because it came at Christmas. Yeah, so it's been out for about 7 months now, and it's already dropped down to about $40 or $50 for the game. So I mean, it's concerning, right? But anyways, I didn't want to talk about the games too much. Like I said, if you want to go check it out, just hit up the Google and look at E3 Conference 2016, and then just look at Microsoft. Look at Microsoft, Sony, Bethesda, Ubisoft, EA. Just check them out. So I will say this though, if you are into big first-person shooter type games like Battlefield, do go and check out the new Battlefield 1. It's paying respects to World War I believe. Oh yeah, World War I, and so that's where the environment's going to take place for the duration of that game. So that's kind of cool. Go check that out. But no, I want to talk to you guys today about consoles. So some pretty, I want to say pretty big news, some relatively big news, but at the same time pretty small news coming out of Microsoft. If you own an Xbox One, you would have been able to see this early. In fact, I think you could have watched it as early as Sunday or Monday. They did a kind of a broadcast where you could go on and you could see it. There was an app you can download from your Xbox on your Xbox. Oh, sorry. And you could have downloaded that, and you could have checked it out already. So basically, Xbox has announced they have a brand new console coming out, and by brand new I mean a revamped version of the existing Xbox One that is set to launch over, I believe, the next couple months. Maybe it's available soon, maybe next month. Basically, it's called the Xbox One S. I'm going to call it Small. And so the Xbox Small is essentially just a revamped version of the existing Xbox One. They've made some minor changes, some major changes. I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence about it because I haven't had the opportunity to really dig too deeply into it and look at the actual specs to see, okay, did they change the actual internal processor? Did they change the graphics? Did they change the amount of memory and RAM and et cetera, et cetera? So I don't know. I can't say. So we're really not going to delve into that. I'll probably look at that maybe next week. We'll talk about that a little bit more once there's been some more details have come to light and we've seen some more benchmarking and things like that, and some product comparisons. So, but major things have happened in that front. Xbox has turned around and said, yes, Xbox Slim is smaller. It is 40%. It is roughly 40% the size of the existing Xbox One, which doesn't make a single freaking difference whatsoever, in my opinion. It's more or less, it's a gimmick. I feel the Xbox is in and itself